Singapore's May non-oil domestic exports sank 4.5% on year, reversing 3 months of growth. Economists say it reflects the impact of COVID-19 as overall exports fell to the lowest level in 11 years. Singapore avoided a slowdown in exports until COVID-19 disruptions finally caught up. Non-electronic exports led the decline, dragged by petrochemicals. Experts say pharmaceuticals also lost its shine, coming off from a high base in May 2019. But they believe its lackluster performance could be a one-off. The sector remains well supported and may benefit from Singapore's commitment to its COVID-19 vaccine development. Even then, pharmaceuticals may not be as strong as before.
The recent boost in pharmaceuticals that we saw in Singapore was mainly due to the increased demand for active pharmaceutical ingredients, and some of that was because of the supply disruptions in China and India. But these supply disruptions, especially in China, have eased significantly. The demand for these active pharmaceutical ingredients that we saw in the last few months, this will taper off.
On the flip side, the electronics sector is lighting up. It grew by 12.5%, the strongest since August 2017. Economists attribute the sector's resilience to the faster pace of digitalization worldwide.
The stay-home phenomenon, because of the lockdown imposed in countries all around the world, has spurred fresh demands of electronics gadgets. But do bear in mind that Singapore, is a manufacturer of high-end parts and components, not the finished products. So a lot really depends on demand from plants in China, and that in turn is dependent on global demand.
But economists doubt the electronic sector can sustain its performance. They believe global economies are heading into recession and will likely dampen consumer demand.
So the resilience in domestic electronics exports is promising. But we think that the global demand will need to recover substantially for overall exports to pick up again. And even in non-oil terms, re-exports contracted sharply in May, and we expect these figures to remain weak as long as major economies around the world grapple with sharp recessions this year.
Some economists expect June exports to bounce back as countries reopen their economies. But experts agree there are still risks, such as renewed US-China trade tensions and a global trade slowdown. And that's why they expect export growth in the second half of this year to be muted.